Welcome to Evermore Love. Hey there, cherished hearts and fellow wanderers of words. Welcome back to Evermore Love, your go-to haven for love stories that don't just entertain. They envelop you, challenge you, and maybe even teach you a thing or two about English along the way. If this is your first visit, oh, you're in for a treat. We craft these tales to feel like a late-night chat with an old friend, full of whispers and wonders. And to our amazing community, we've soared past that 1K subscriber mark. Your love has turned our whispers into a chorus, and we're endlessly thankful. To keep this beautiful momentum going, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, flick on those notifications, and let's make today special. Watch this full video, every heartfelt beat. Your complete views are the quiet cheers that inspire more stories like the one ahead. Ready to let love pull you in? Here we go. He said, "It's only work." The salt-laced breeze off the Amalfi Coast carried whispers of lemon groves and forgotten promises, mingling with the rhythmic crash of waves against the cliffs below Villa Serafina. Clara Voss leaned against the wrought-iron balcony, her sundress fluttering like a hesitant flag of truce, a glass of chilled limoncello sweating in her hand. At 34, she was a portrait of quiet elegance. Wavy chestnut hair kissed by the sun, hazel eyes that held the depth of autumn ponds, and a laugh that could coax blooms from stone. But tonight, as the Mediterranean sun dipped into a blaze of crimson and gold, those eyes brimmed with unshed tears, fixed on the horizon where the sea met sky in an endless, indifferent embrace. It had been their dream, this anniversary escape, 10 years woven from stolen weekends in her Brooklyn studio and his high-rise corner office in Manhattan. Marcus Hale, the brilliant mergers and acquisitions shark at Hale and Stratton, had promised it like a vow renewed. 2 weeks, just us. No emails, no calls. Paradise. They'd arrived 3 days ago, the villa's terracotta tiles cool underfoot, bougainvillea cascading in vibrant riots of pink and purple, the infinity pool a sapphire mirror reflecting their tangled limbs at dawn. Mornings began with espresso on the patio, his fingers tracing lazy circles on her thigh as they planned lazy hikes through Positano's labyrinthine streets or boat rides to hidden coves. Romance had reignited like dry tinder to flame, kisses tasting of sea salt and gelato, her head on his chest under star-pricked skies, his voice a low rumble reciting Neruda as the tide sighed approval. But by midday the idol cracked. Marcus's phone, that sleek black monolith, buzzed incessantly from the bedside table, its vibration a serpent slithering into Eden. "Just a quick check," he'd mutter, slipping away to the study with its view of olive orchards. Minutes stretched to hours, Clara finding him hunched over his laptop, brow furrowed like storm clouds gathering, tie loosened but power intact. She'd tiptoe in with plates of burrata and prosciutto, only for him to glance up distractedly, murmuring, "It's only work, love. Won't take long." The phrase landed like a pebble in a still pond, ripples at first, then waves eroding the shore. Clara understood ambition. She'd built her own path as a freelance curator for indie galleries, piecing together exhibits that told stories of resilience and reinvention. Their love had sparked at an opening in Soho 7 years prior. Her in a crimson sheath that hugged her like a lover's gaze, him nursing a scotch amid abstract sculptures, their eyes locking over a canvas splashed with chaotic swirls. "It's like your tie," she'd quipped, nodding to his asymmetrical silk. He'd laughed, a sound like thunder rolling in from afar, and by closing, they were debating Basquiat over midnight ramen, his hand finding hers under the table. Marriage followed in a whirlwind ceremony on a Hudson River yacht, vows exchanged as gulls wheeled overhead. "I'll be your anchor and your sail," he'd said, sliding a sapphire ring onto her finger, its facets catching the light like captured breaths. Yet work had always been the shadow at their feast. Marcus's rise was meteoric, deals that reshaped skylines, bonuses that padded their nest egg for the brownstone they'd renovated with exposed brick and her curated art walls. Clara celebrated his triumphs with candlelit dinners, toasting with Veuve Clicquot while he spun tales of boardroom battles won. But lately the victories felt pyrrhic. Late nights blurred into weekends commandeered by conference calls, their bed a cold expanse where she'd wake to his side empty, the city lights mocking her solitude. "It's only work," he'd say, sliding back under the covers at 3 a.m. his kiss apologetic but fleeting, leaving her adrift in the dark. Here in Italy, the phrase echoed hollower, amplified by the villa's isolation. On the fourth day, Clara ventured solo into Ravello, the town's azure-domed cathedral, a sanctuary of cool marble and murmured prayers. She wandered the Villa Simbrone gardens, infinity terrace overlooking valleys terraced like emerald steps, wildflowers nodding in sympathy as tears finally spilled. A text from Marcus pinged her phone. Stuck on a call with Tokyo. Dinner at 8. XO she pocketed it, heart aching with the weight of unvoiced pleas. Was this their legacy? Love rationed like office hours, passion postponed for profit margins. The fracture deepened that evening. The dining terrace glowed with fairy lights strung like constellations, a feast of handmade ravioli in sage butter and grilled octopus laid out by the villa's chef. Marcus emerged from the study, sleeves rolled to reveal forearms tanned by reluctant beach time. His smile apologetic as he pulled out her chair. "You look like a goddess," he said, kissing her knuckles, the gesture stirring embers long banked. They ate in companionable silence at first, the sea's symphony underscoring bites of tiramisu dusted with cocoa dreams. But as limoncello flowed, Clara's resolve cracked. "Marcus," she began, voice soft as the waves below, "this trip, it's slipping away. You're here but not here. I came for us. For the boy who once drove through a blizzard just to see me smile, who carved our initials into that oak in Central Park. Not the man who treats love like a quarterly review." He set down his glass, hazel eyes, once her safe harbor, now shadowed with fatigue. "Clara, I know. The Hong Kong merger, it's massive. If we nail it, early retirement, that vineyard in Tuscany you dream of. It's only work. For us." The words landed like a slap, though delivered with tenderness. "Only work," she echoed, rising, the chair scraping like a sigh. "That's what you always say. But it steals you piece by piece. Our mornings, our nights, our now. What if only work becomes our everything and us nothing?" Tears traced warm paths down her cheeks, the salt mingling with the night's humidity. Marcus stood, reaching for her, but she stepped back, the balcony railing pressing into her spine. "I love you enough to fight for this. But I can't fight alone." He recoiled as if struck, face paling under the lantern glow. "God, Clara, you're right. I've been blind, chasing security like it's oxygen, forgetting you're my air." His voice broke, hands raking through his dark waves, vulnerability etching lines she'd not seen since his father's passing 5 years back. That night, he'd crumbled in her arms on their kitchen floor, her whispers the glue mending his fractures. Now, the roles reversed, she held space as he confessed. The fear of stagnation, the orphan boy's dread of loss, how deals filled the void where presence should be. "I thought providing meant everything. But seeing you here, radiant and waiting, I've been the thief in our story." They talked until the stars wheeled overhead, words a balm on raw edges. Her sharing the loneliness of gallery preps without his after-show critiques. Him vowing firewalls between boardrooms and bedrooms. No grand gestures, just raw honesty under the Italian moon. His hand finally finding hers, fingers interlacing like puzzle pieces long separated. Challenges arose, unyielding as the coastal cliffs. Back in New York, the merger demanded his soul, calls infiltrating their reclaimed rituals. Dinner interrupted by a ping. His jaw tightening like a coiled spring. Clara's own world tilted. A coveted exhibit in Chelsea fell through due to funding cuts, leaving her adrift in self-doubt, sketches abandoned in her studio like orphaned children. One stormy November eve, as rain lashed the brownstone's windows, resentment flared anew. She found him in his study, screen's blue glow casting hollows on his face. "It's only work," he preempted, weary. She slammed the door, retreating to the guest room, the bed vast and unyielding, sobs muffled in feather pillows scented with lavender she'd planted in their tiny backyard. Dawn brought reckoning. Marcus knocked softly, entering with a tray. Fresh croissants from the corner patisserie. Her favorite Earl Grey steaming beside a single wild daisy. He knelt by the bed, eyes red-rimmed, voice a gravel whisper. I broke my promise. Let me fix it. Not with words but actions. That week, he delegated the merger's fringes, carving out evenings for tandem runs along the High Line, where autumn leaves crunched underfoot like forgiven sins. Heartfelt moments bloomed in the fissures, a surprise weekend in the Catskills, their cabin fogged with laughter as they baked apple pie, flour dusting his lashes like stars, quiet nights where she'd curate a gallery of Polaroids on their fridge, candid captures of stolen glances, his arm around her at a flea market, rebuilding their visual love letter. Winter yielded to spring, the brownstone awakening with tulips Clara coaxed from window boxes. The merger closed triumphantly, but Marcus's toast at their belated celebration wasn't to bonuses. It was to her, glass raised in the candlelit dining room. To the woman who taught me work serves love, not the reverse. Tears welled as he pulled a velvet box from his pocket. Not a bauble, but a custom planner. Leather-bound, embossed with our time, pages divided for deals and dates, boundaries etched in gold leaf. On a balmy June afternoon, 1 year from that Amalfi ache, they returned to the coast. Not as escape, but reclamation. Villa Serafina welcomed them with open arms. The balcony now a stage for vows renewed under the same lemon-scented breeze. It's only work, Marcus murmured, drawing her close, his lips brushing her temple. Because you're my everything. Their kiss deepened, salt and sweetness entwined, the sea applauding with gentle applause. In that embrace, challenges transmuted to strength, romance aflame tended daily. Fierce, flickering forever. Ah, friends, if Marcus and Clara's dance between duty and desire tugged at your heartstrings, reminding you that love demands presence over promises, then we've shared something truly special tonight. 4 more original stories that stir the soul and smooth your English journey. Subscribe to Evermore Love. We can't wait to tell you more. Like if that planner moment hit home, comment below with your own It's Only Work tale, and share this with a loved one who needs a nudge toward balance. Thank you for watching Every Whisper. You're the heartbeat of our channel. Until next time, choose love first. Sparkling heart.